Toastmaster, Tari. Over to you.
Wait, let's
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm guest. There's a guest here. Good evening, everybody. And thank you for coming to this should be our first hybrid meeting really in this year. But fortunately, this is the day we are ending this particular tenure. But great to see each face here. Glad to have you all in the room, and then those online, eight participants online. Good evening. I hope you can see and hear me as well. Today is our change of guard ceremony. It is a regular meeting, so we probably wouldn't be doing everything we usually do in a regular meeting. But then again, I'm interested in the thing that says growth mindset. If I should ask everyone here, or each person here, the reason why they became a Toastmaster in the first place, I'm sure everyone would say we have some. Of us. Are you muted? Really? Are you muted?
No.
Can you hear now, Chika? I'm too low. Do I need to come over there?
No, from here. Can you hear us now? He said yes.
Okay, great. I have said a whole lot. I've said a whole lot. But then again, growth mindset was what I was talking about. And that we're all here to learn from each other. Iron sharpens iron, as they say. So sit back, relax, let's enjoy today's meeting, or rather today's change of guard ceremony. A new exco is coming on board. I know that they have their goals already set. And of course, we wish them the best, but we'll get to that point later on. For now, let us enjoy the meeting. Let us actually come with a growth mindset, ready to learn and ready to be better. Thank you. I think I'm supposed to introduce the Toastmaster of the day.
Yes, please.
Can I have his profile?
Yeah.
So, our Toastmaster of the day is one handsome man like that. They call him Toastmaster Uche and Anabaronye. He's a reliability engineer and lifestyle coach. His hobbies include watching documentaries and reading nonfiction. He's on the persuasive influence pathway, and he's the immediate past president of Pecten Toastmasters Club. His favorite quote is, "All we get is time and choice. Be wise with both." Without further ado, let's put our hands together. Welcome our Toastmaster of the day.
Culture. The culture. All right. Thank you very much. I am the Toastmaster of the day, and my job is very simple. My job is just to call people to say things or to do the job. The person who is coming after me has a greater job, and I'll tell you who he is. Welcome once again to the change of guard ceremony for Pecten Toastmasters. Like our president, I'm drawn by the theme of today, which is growth mindset. And you will agree with me that Pecten Toastmasters has grown. Just like a seed that is planted in fertile soil, Pecten Toastmasters started like a tiny idea. It was nurtured with dedication, enthusiasm, and commitment. It was watered with blood, sweat, and tears. And it has grown not just into a big oak tree, but into a thriving community where we have a safe haven for personal development, a sanctuary for cultivating leadership. So Toastmasters and guests, today we are at the cusp of change. And I know that this comes with varied emotions. On the far left, people are thinking that they are sad that, oh, I'm going to miss the outgoing expos. But on the far right, you have people who are anticipating for the new frontiers and the vistas that the new expos will take us to. Whatever part of this spectrum you are, I know that if you put that all on the table for today's meeting, we would have the time of our lives. It is on this premise that I welcome you once again to the Pecten Toastmasters Change of Guard ceremony. This is a good place to put your hands together together. Like I said at the beginning, my job is simple, but the person who is coming after me, he's an emperor. He is a conqueror. He is a lion, and he is here. It's not a lie, right? So if your hands are not busy, I would like you to welcome Toastmaster Tosin Oloreke, the general evaluator for today. Put your hands together.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Uche. I can say that flattery is one of your strengths, but I'll take it regardless. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be a general evaluator this evening. It's always a pleasure to be at Pecten Toastmasters Club. Thank you for having me. This evening, I will be serving as the general evaluator, which means I'll be spearheading the team of evaluators to provide feedback to everything that happens over the course of the meeting. But before we go further, I'd like to introduce our role players for today. We have our grammarian, our accounter, and our timer. Our grammarian today is, I wish I was as good at flattery as Toastmaster Uche was, so that I could really flatter you as well. But he needs no introduction because I'm sure we all know him. He's a man of timber and caliber. That's something we all like to say when we're hyping people up. And I'm talking about Toastmaster Dr. Intikak Abasi.
Hi. I'm just seeing you. So good. Anyway, sorry. Thank you. Good. Good evening to persons and guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The task is simple. As a grammarian, essentially, my role is to listen to everyone speak, find out absolutely great pieces of words and structure, syntax, and all of that, and then also introduce the word of the day. Word of the day is vault. And you can see that it means to do, achieve, or attain something, I say by a leap. But that's too banal. Because vault actually comes from a very deep middle century Italian sort of word. It's how you put things from one step to another, to literally the sky. And from the growth mindset for the theme for today, vault really should mean for us that step-by-step means by which we go from bottom to the very top. And that's what Pecten is all about. So examples, he wanted to fame on the strength of his discovery, went to stardom during the elections, at Pecten, and also vault. So at the absolute top are the things we do today and hereafter. Back to you, Joseph.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Intia. And now we'll be welcoming our accounter, Toastmaster Chika Obani, a very good friend of mine, who is fondly referred to as Uncle C as well, the past president of All City Speakers Club, and he's currently on the strategic relationships pathway. Watching anime is his hobby. I think if you know Chika, you don't need to be told it. So Toastmaster Chika, please tell us what we have to expect from you this evening.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. The mathematician Carl Pearson said, whatever is measured and reported improves exponentially. All I'm meant to do is to measure our use of crutch words or filler words in our speech making so that I can report it and we can take our learnings from there and improve. So please, I would like to implore everyone, try to use. We've had 3 people speak already and nobody is using any You are making my job very difficult. Thank you. I'm back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chika. And tend to keep making that job as difficult as possible. And finally, I will be introducing our timer. Promises to be a wonderful meeting, and we don't want to get carried away. So the person who's going to be keeping us in check today, our wonderful timer, Toastmaster Adjournment.
You have to say something.
Good evening. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. My job for today will be very simple. So just getting to know that it's just 2 things I'm going to time, 2 persons I'm going to time. So I'll be timing the table topics and the other speeches. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Edem. Toastmaster Edem will be using his timing cards to keep us on track with time. So when you see the green card, which you can see on his background, it means you're doing well with time. You can actually round up whatever you're talking about. You see the yellow card, you're almost at the end of the allotted time. And if you see the red card, your time is up. But don't fret, you have 30 seconds to round up. So please take your time, but not too much. That being said, I look forward to having a wonderful meeting, and I'll hand over to the man of the day, or one of the people of the day, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. I told you, he's an emperor, he's a conqueror. You saw the way he stood here, only emperors stand that way, isn't it? All right, we finished the first phase of the meeting. We would go to the next phase of the meeting, which is perhaps one of the most interesting. And I would be introducing the table topics master, distinguished Toastmaster Chooks, to tell us how this very interesting section of the meeting would go. DTM Chooks, over to you. Oh, all right, sorry. The table topics master is distinguished Toastmaster Chooks Wabweze. He is an energy professional and he has a lot of energy. He is a past president of Oil City Speakers Club. He is the Division KPQD Program Quality Director. He has completed the Innovative Planning and Visionary Communication Pathways. Can you beat that? His hobbies are experiencing football, not playing football. Experimenting with music, not dancing to music. His favorite quote is, "Where you are born is never as important as what's born in you." Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not busy, put your hands together for DTM Chooks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, IPP. It's good that we can use that terminology for a few more days before the transition. Good to be here, Pecten Toastmasters Club once again. Great to see everyone. Great to see that there are people in the flesh gathered in a room somewhere. That's always lovely to see. Greetings, everyone. It's my pleasure to be our table topics master today. And for the initiated, we know the rules, we know how that goes. It is a segment of our Toastmasters meeting where we hone our skills with respect to extemporaneous speaking off the cuff. And we do that by practicing that very act, learning by doing, speaking for a minimum of 1 minute. So this is a timed session for the uninitiated, our guests in our midst today. We'll speak for a minimum of 1 minute. At 1 minute mark, you will get a notification from our timer that 1 minute has been reached by a green sign. That green sign might be on the chat box or a flash of a card if you're in the room. And then at 1 minute, 30 seconds, you get an amber. At red, at 2 minutes, you get a red sign. But that red sign does not mean that you run off the stage. It means that you do have 30 seconds to gently conclude your speech and move along. All right, that said, we have 7 topics today from the numbers 1 to 7. Given that this is a hybrid meeting, we would love to alternate this, taking volunteers both from the physical and the online audience. So we will start off right now with our first volunteer. So if you're online, you can just raise your hand and let me know. But if you are on site in the physical audience, I'd crave the indulgence of the Sergeant at Arms or the Toastmaster of the day to just prompt me every now and then who has a hand raised in the audience. Who wants to go first? 1 to 7. Online, on-site, online, on-site, online, on-site. And then we see,
Okay, GE has unmuted.
oh, okay, they are unmuted now. So who wants to go first? Toastmaster Tosin, I see you standing. Is that
Yes.
you wanting to go first?
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, yeah. Let me not just assume. So it's 1 to 7, please. Pick a number.
7.
All right, let's vault you into question number 7. And it's a quote. So today is a day for quotes. Oh gosh, sorry, just a minute, please.
That's it.
So, and it's a quote, and the quote says, perseverance is a virtue that cannot be understated. A quote by Bob Riley, perseverance is a virtue that cannot be understated. Toastmaster Tosin, please.
Thank you very much. The Zing Toastmaster himself, distinguished Toastmaster Chooks. Thank you for that question. Where would we be without perseverance? What would we achieve without perseverance? I came in today to join our meeting, and about 5 minutes to the start of the meeting, I could see we were still struggling with some technical difficulties. In fact, still now, we're still struggling with some technical difficulties. But here we are, having a good time, enjoying our meeting, learning, and it's all because of one reason: perseverance. We could have decided to give up on the technologies that decided to fail us. We could have decided, you know what, this isn't worth our while, this isn't worth our time. But perseverance kept us here. The Zing Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Chooks, I can see even you are at work at the moment, and a couple of distractions are coming here and there. But you're determined to play your role as Table Topics Master today, to be a part of our wonderful meeting today, to add value, to contribute in some way. And that's because you've persevered. So I couldn't agree more that perseverance is indeed very key to achieving anything. Without perseverance, we wouldn't get anywhere. So I'd like to urge each and every one of us today, doesn't matter what you're going through, doesn't matter how difficult it seems things could be at the moment, persevere, and you'll have a reason to smile soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Please, a round of applause for Toastmaster Tosin. Let's maximize the fact that we are in a room out there. So please, let's have that round of applause go to him now. Thank you. All right, some great words there on perseverance. So we'll take a next one now. So let's have someone. The beauty about clapping online is that I can mistake your clapping when it lingers a bit for a raised hand, which is a nice mistaking. But let's have our next volunteer, please. So who wants to go next? Online, on-site, preferably someone online. Online people. This is the point where I call someone out and be like, yes, are you sure you don't want to try this?
Physical sites.
Yeah, we'll come to the physical, but we need this online audience up and doing. Toastmaster Fumi Daramola, please, are you okay to take our next table topic?
Oh, yes, I'm okay. I kind of guess you were going to call me, so I cleared my throat in anticipation.
Fantastic. Wow, your spirit is strong and your sense of whatever it is that makes people guess right. It's absolutely strong. We have questions 1 to 6 left, please. Which would be yours?
Question 1.
Question 1. Question
Yes.
1 says, when I fall 7 times, I shall rise 8 times. When I fall 7 times, I shall rise 8 times. Toastmaster Fumi Daramola. Over to you.
Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the Day and other fellow Toastmasters in the room. Thanks for that quote, TM Chooks. When I fall 7 times, I will rise 8 times. I like that quote. I can't remember the author now. I've heard it before. And what it reminds me of is actually growth. You know, there's an adage in my language that says, when a child falls, the child looks to the front. But when an adult falls, they look to the back to find out why they actually fell. And that speaks to growth mindset, which is what we are dealing with today. So when I fall 7 times and I rise more times than I fall, I actually rise better than I fall. So I rise stronger, I rise bigger, I rise sharper, I rise better, I rise more beautiful, I rise more knowledgeable. So that's what that quote speaks to me. When I fall 7 times, I rise 8 times. And that's actually the way we need to see life. You need to see life through the lens of growth, through the lens of opportunities. Anytime you fall, it speaks to failure, but you don't have to see it as a failure. You can change the frame around the incident and make it into something productive. You can actually thank God that you fell, because you're going to have an experience through the fall. You can thank God, or you can remember people that have actually fallen and have remained on the low level. But here you are, you fell the first time, you rose again. You fell the second up to the seventh time, and you've actually found that you've risen more times than you've fallen. I think it's a very good quote, and I would like us to go along. It's been a tough year, and it promises to be a little tougher in Nigeria, but let's have that growth mindset. Whatever life throws at you, a curveball, or when life throws a lemonade at you or a lemon at you, make lemonade. That means that the number of times you are falling is not as much as the number of times that you have risen. So with this being said, I'd like to say, guys, don't be afraid of falling. Whenever you fall, you are going to rise up better and bigger and brighter. Thank you. Back to you, TM Chooks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Fumi Taramola. Indeed, bigger, better, and brighter. And let's look forward to the next bigger, better, and brighter speaker for our table topic segment today, this time from the on-site, I must remember that, on-site audience. Who is standing in front? Who is standing at the speaking stage, ready to go? I see someone taking a stroll towards the front. What's the name, please? I think that is Toastmaster.
Linus.
Yes, Toastmaster Linus. Okay, I believe. Yes. You have questions 2 to 6, nicely sandwiched since we started. Which will it be?
I'll go with 6.
6. I like how people are picking the extremes. This is how we eat food. We just eat it from the outside in. Yeah, so. All right. Toastmaster Linus, question 6 is a quote from Christopher Morley, and he says, "Big shots are only little shots who kept shooting." Big shots are only little shots who kept shooting. Over to you, Toastmaster Linus.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chooks. I'll try to keep this as short as I can. I'm a man of very few words, for those that know me very well. And I will go back to my vault and tell you that I've heard this quote before, and the first time I saw it, it was quite funny to me. But then it brings me to the realization that in all we do, we should never give up. It's the little drops of water that makes the ocean. And every success story that we have, it's a combination of a continuous effort from little stories. So big shots are small shots that keeps shooting. And I will borrow from the previous quotes of falling 7 times and rising 8 times. And I saw a movie sometime back, about 15 years ago, and there's a quote that stuck with me, and I'm going to leave it with everyone in the room. And it says, "Until lambs become lions, rise and rise again." Thank you, Toastmasters again.
Oh, wow. That ended on such a powerful note. Did I hear right? Until lambs become lions, rise and rise again. Was that what I heard? Please confirm.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, there are miracles happening. Lambs become lions, rise and rise again. Okay. All right. Great people. This is ramping up really nicely. I believe we can take 2 more if we are sticking to the agenda I have before me. So let's have a couple more. Who will go next, please? Online. I come back online because we need to. Oh, yes, fantastic. Thank you. Like all spirits are connecting today. Madam VPE, I see you. All right, online, I am with you and keen to hear a couple voices who are otherwise maybe won't be in the room today. So I'm testing with Toastmaster Kaine. Are you able to take a table topic today?
I am Toastmaster. I would rather go for the next one. I'm currently indisposed.
Okay, that works. All right. The next one will be waiting for you at some point. Okay, I will sojourn along and come to Ireju, Toastmaster or guest? Ireju. Hopefully, if you're mute, you can let me know the correct pronunciation of the name also before you let us know. But are you able to do that? I can't remember how many seconds rule of silence, whether it's 3 seconds or 7 seconds before you try to do something about the silence. But I'm assuming it's 7 seconds, even though I've punctured the silence now with my words. All right, it has definitely exceeded 7 seconds. We'll move on to that. Do we have someone from the on-site audience physically also who's willing to go again? All right, who is going next, please? Oh, do I see a tussle? Two people running up at the same time.
Yeah, the energy.
Fantastic. Oh, lovely. All right, so who do we have, please?
Good evening, Toastmaster.
Oh, I know the voice. So, distinguished Toastmaster Sonia Alana, great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
We have questions 2 to 5 left. Which would be yours?
Question 3, please.
Question 3, finally, someone pick something in the middle. 3 is a quote from Amy Carter, and it says, keep trying until you have no more chances. Keep trying until you have no more chances. DTM Sonia, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, favorite Toastmaster. Keep trying until you have no more chances. What does that mean? How do you interpret that? When we think of our theme for today, growth mindset, we can key into it straight up, because keep trying until there are no more chances. When do we know that the chances are exhausted? So in other words, it's on us to continue or to keep going until we get it right. What comes to mind are so many things or so many people who have tried before. For example, we have the telephone today. How many times did failure happen before finally we have our mobile phones? And I remember reading some time ago that, I think in the 70s or before then, someone said that the day will come when we'll have telephones in our hands and we can walk around with them, and everybody laughed. But guess what? It happened. When we talk of the light bulb, how many times were we told that the inventor failed? He kept trying, and hey, today we click a switch and the light comes on. Keep trying until there are no more chances. What is it that you have in your bucket list? What is it that you've been saying that to you seems impossible? What is it that are your dreams, your aspirations, your visions, and you have seen obstacles along the way? Obstacle or no obstacle, mountain or no mountain, can you just keep trying? Can you keep on trying? Because the chances, or rather the chances are not exhaustible. In other words, you always have another day. You always have the opportunity to turn another page, and you always have a new day, a new dawn, and the opportunity to try again. It's myself.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Sonia. And thank you, amazing audience, for that round of applause. After that, indeed, you always have a new day, a new dawn, and we keep going because the chances are never exhausted. As far as we've got breath, we keep going. So we'll give the opportunity for that one last person, and that should be the person who was running to the stage from the other axis when the DTM Sonia was coming from the right. So who's that? Let's have you, please. Fantastic. Who do we have? Oh, yeah. Very special. Toastmaster Ekuchi Joy James, we have questions 2, 4, and 5 left. Which will be yours? So I can't hear you. Toastmaster Equity. Question 5. Question 5 says, problems are not stop signs. They are guidelines. It's a quote from popular speaker, writer, Robert Schuller. And it goes again, problems are not stop signs. They are guidelines. Toastmaster Ekuchi.
If you're a music buff like me, you would have heard this. Problem, you know, the finish. We can try, they enjoy. The musician or the singer of this particular song understood, or probably has seen this quote before, but there'll always be problems. Problems are almost inexhaustible. Every single day. Chances are you will face one problem or the other, right? What do you do about it? Do you sit on your bum and feel sorry for yourself and think, oh, life is over? Self-pity. I can remind you, no one really cares. Everyone is going about their day. Everyone is going about their lives. We all have problems. But there's one thing to always remember, that every single problem is two sides to it. You can look at it as a cup half full or a cup half empty. It might be a guideline. In the midst of that problem, there is a lesson. What do you take away from it? What are the things that teach you, or what are the things that through that problem will vault you into the next phase of your life? My favorite quotes, as Toastmaster Tosin can attest to, is whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And there are sometimes that problems come to you and they totally demoralize you, they totally make you feel that you can't, but it's all up here. It's all up here. Whether you see a problem as a disaster or as a guideline, it's all in your head. So today, Toastmasters and guests, I want to ask you, when the problem comes your way, do you see it as a problem or as a guideline? And it's back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you once again, Toastmaster Ekuchi Joy James. Living with a big question, when those problems come our way, do we see it as stop signs, or do we see it or see them as guidelines? Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's graced the stage today. I will leave the Toastmaster of the day to do a recap preceding the voting, which is likely to take place both online and on-site. But again, thank you, Toastmasters and guests, for making this a very rich session. We have indeed vaulted, put our level of knowledge and even our level of inspiration into a new level by the speeches that we've heard over the last few minutes. Thank you all very much. And it's back to you for one last time, maybe in official capacity, our IPP and Toastmaster of today, Toastmaster Uche Anabaronye.
I have a feeling that because of how inspiring the table topic session was, you couldn't put your hands together. You agree with me, it was really inspiring. We had veterans speak. We even had someone at some point sing the song in the table topic session. I enjoyed it, and I'm sure you enjoyed it too. I could take some of the nuggets and quotes here and make a few reels for my Instagram handle. Go to Anabs and look at the few things I have done there. I promise you, I'll pick one or trips. I'll come back to you, pick a few there, and make a few reels for the rest of the world to enjoy. I had a beautiful time. The next section that we're about to get into is on the left spectrum, if you recall my opening remark. I told you that some of us today would have the feeling, the emotions of sadness that, oh, I would miss the outgoing expo. And if you have your handkerchiefs, put them really close, because Toastmaster Tari is about to give an outgoing speech. I won't be surprised at a few tears on the floor on the table. But before then, put your hands together as I welcome Toastmaster Tari, the outgoing president of Pecten Toastmasters Club, to give a farewell speech.
Good evening again, Toastmasters and guests. So I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I actually have some Let's see. Someone has to join.
I am already trying. Go ahead, please.
Right. Yeah.
Please
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So it's been a full year. 2022, July 1st to 2023. It's been an interesting year, not just for me, but for every member of the executive committee. It's been a year of growth. It's been a year of challenges. It's been a year of tears sometimes, and many wins, I must say. There's something you're supposed to share.
Sorry.
Slide is supposed to share.
Okay.
But all in all, we are grateful for how the year began, and even more specifically, how it has ended, because I think we ended on a win. It isn't always easy to be in this position. Our last meeting we had last week, our theme was leadership with service. Service. And being in this position is just all about service. It's all about giving. It's all about sacrificing. It isn't easy to be a Toastmaster, organize meetings, come for meetings, but the rewards are immeasurable. The rewards you get when you put in the work are immeasurable. Not just serving as a leader, but even serving as a role player, even getting up to give those speeches, irrespective of how tense and anxious you are. Every drop of water put into that bucket will eventually lead somewhere. And we all joined for a reason. I joined for a reason. I never saw myself in this seat when I joined. I was like every new person that comes in, shy, unwilling to speak, unwilling to volunteer. But somehow I found myself here. And I think I made the best use of the opportunity. And so the year has ended. It's now time to hand over to a new set of executives, which is what we are here to do today. What did our year entail? We had a couple of programs all around Toastmasters. One of the things we had at the back of our mind was to meet up with our distinguished club goals. And this year, we made 8 out of 10 goals. We got 8 out of 10 goals. For me, it will not be 10 out of 10. I'm sure that's, of course, everybody aspires to have 10. Every club aspires to have 10 out of 10, but it was a really difficult year, and I think 8 over 10 is just as good. You ask me, yes. So 8 over 10, it did come easy, no, but we got it done. And for me, it taught me a valuable lesson. Just aspire, just aspire. Just assume that you will get there. And somehow bit by bit, after putting the work, you actually see progress. We had a couple of contests as well this year. We had from the club level contest to the area and then division contest. Well, club contest was yours truly. Club contest, yes. Champion was yours truly. And then I couldn't be at the area contest, so Toastmaster Joy represented and did very well there, I must say. Then Toastmaster SA went all the way to the division contest, international speech contest. And I think we did well. We had a good representative all around, and I'm grateful for that. Is any other thing? That's it. So that's about it for the year. I mean, this is not the day for very long speeches. I'm sure some people are looking at their time already, but we are going to welcome very soon the installation officer. But I want to say one last thing before I sit down. This is a club. It's not a one-man show. Everybody has to put in at least a little bit to get out that result for the club. Because at the end of the day, if we do not meet up in the next dispensation, if we do not meet up our goals, our club goes into relegation, and that's not what we want. So I want to charge the Toastmasters here, past presidents, past members of the EXCO, those online, guests who want to join. When you're called upon to do something, please step up to the plate. We aren't always like this. We grew. And we're talking about growth mindset. Please step up to the plate and just put in your little. That little is actually a lot. So, thank you. Back to you.
All right. So some tears. One of the things I really enjoyed about her speech is that Pecten Toastmasters Football Club did not go on relegation.
Yes,
we didn't go on relegation. However, growth is not just about numbers. It's about character. It's about relationships. It's about many other things devoid of the numbers you can see on the screen. And I can tell you that I have felt growth in Pecten Toastmasters Group. But at this time, we're going to the right-hand side of the spectrum I told you about, where we aspire. We look at what vistas Pecten Toastmasters Club will begin to sort of become. And I would like to welcome the installation officer before the change of guard. I'll read her Bible. Our installation officer is Toastmaster Folusho Alamina. She's a seasoned senior health lead and occupational physician. She's a public health physician and capacity builder. She's an avid listener and discerner. At Club and Pathway, she's a Pecten Toastmasters Club and the past Pecten Club president and Area 23 Club Growth Director. She is on the dynamic leadership pathway proficient. Her hobbies is that she enjoys globetrotting, arts, journaling, reading, and having authentic conversations with real people. She loves unraveling mysteries and a natural detective of sorts. Her favorite quote, one of, is "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication," and it's by Leonardo da Vinci. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, put your heads up, put your hands together, and welcome to the podium to the Pecten Lectern Toastmaster Folusho Alamina.
Thank you. The Pecten keeps moving, and the Lectern keeps
Keeps
moving.
moving
So it's
to
here,
left,
here.
Yeah, no, I
Highly
understand.
mobile Lectern. All right. So I hope everyone online can hear me.
Online
You can
people.
hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right, great. It's been a great meeting so far. It was John Maxwell who said, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Change is inevitable. It would always happen, but growth is optional. I particularly like the theme of today's meeting, growth mindset. And I'm sure we know it was popularized by the popular professor of Stanford, Carol Dweck, where she talks about growth mindset and fixed mindset. And I'm happy that we're all tuned to the frequency of growth mindsets. My job today, as depicted, installation officer. I'm not installing software or anything of the sort. I will be installing officers. I'd like to just draw our attention to another interesting quote by Gil Sheehy that said, if we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we aren't really living. We don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we aren't really living. So I'm happy I'm a part of this auspicious event where growth is happening, change is happening, and we're truly living. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, the hour, or should I say the moment, has come. Tari, are you having palpitations? I don't know. You should be relaxed. All right, so at this point, I'd like to ask the outgoing officers to stand. Outgoing club officers to stand. Do we have some online? Yes, please, those that are online, could you put up your videos and stand? Toastmaster Kaine, Toastmaster Amara. Toastmaster Ngozi, I don't know if she's online. Okay. All right. Okay. I think this is the number we have right now. I think Toastmaster Ngozi is over here. So the rest of the club, I'd like us to take a good look at them and give them a rousing round of applause. Please. Sensibly, to Toastmaster Tari in her farewell speech, she said it took blood, tears. What was the other fluid? Sweat. I know there were three fluids. Okay. So we want to thank you, outgoing excos, for your work, and we would like to relieve you of your responsibility at this time. So every duty and responsibility, like a cloak, is off you right now. So do that.
do that. Well done. I particularly enjoyed listening to all the achievements and more that I know you did mention. Thank you so much. Please have your seats. You deserve the accolade. Thank you. Right. The next bit of my job is to invite the incoming. I can hear a few people having palpitations.
Yes,
As it's so loud, I can hear it. So I would invite them in this order. Please, as I mention your name, step out to this end of the lectern. A sergeant at arms, an incoming sergeant at arms is Toastmaster Biodun Dekoru. Very much. Toastmaster Alamina Alison, our incoming treasurer. Toastmaster Dibike Oshodi. Dibike, are you online? Okay. Yeah, great. Toastmaster Ole Orene, our incoming PPR. Ready. Toastmaster kindly let us speak, who is online, incoming Vice President membership. Your video is on. Toastmaster Joy James, and finally, the incoming president. Do we have drums or some? I'm sure we know the answer. You were elected and it's strictly a volunteering thing. So we're hoping that this exco will challenge the next and more men will step up to the thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Something's on the screen.
Who's where is our gavel? Oh, it's
We have pins. We have pins. No, that word, that's. So we have a pin.
All right.
For which person? For each of them.
All right, what's time?
All right,
so I'd like you to please pay attention. So my job today is to install all the officers here present and to prepare you for the challenges ahead. Fear not, there is sufficient support and you have what it takes. So your collective challenge is to make this club strong, dedicated to helping people from all walks of life and to speak in an effective manner. You would lead by example. You would listen with sensitivity and you would think creatively. This represents our gavel. So please, in your mind's eye or something, just picture a gavel. All right. And how this would go. The gavel, at the right time, I'll tell you when to pass it on. The gavel represents a symbol of authority. Okay, so as outgoing president said, handle with care. Okay, probably should use 2 hands for this one. Okay, so I would start with Toastmaster, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Biodun Dekoru. Toastmaster Biodun Dekoru, will you perform your duties to the best of your ability? Yes, you will. Round of applause. Thank you very much. Please pass it on to our treasurer. Toastmaster Alamina Alison, will you perform your duties as the treasurer, the accountant of the club, to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Please pass it on to our secretary. Oh, she's virtual. That's right. Okay, so we will get creative here. Toastmaster GBK. Is she on the top? It's not on the top.
Yes.
Oh, okay, fine. So we'll skip her, then we'll go to PPPR. Please pass it on to Toastmaster Ole. Toastmaster Ole Orene, VPPR, the face of Pecten, locally, regionally, globally, extraterrestrial, interplanetary, and what have you.
Will you perform your duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. Please pass it on to the VPM. That will be virtual. Toastmaster, kindly please picture yourself receiving the gavel. Okay, all right. So Toastmaster, kindly get a speak. Will you perform your duties to the best of your ability as VPM?
Yes, I will.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we'll pass it on now to the VPE, Toastmaster Joy Ekuchi James. Has anyone noticed he's the only person that goes by those three names? Everyone else knows first name, second name. It's great. So Toastmaster Joy James, will you perform as VPM, as VPE, sorry, would you perform your duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. And now to the president. And we should stick something fragile. The moment is here for the president, Toastmaster Esogene Okirika. You have been elected as a president of Pecten Toastmasters. So you are the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. Now that's heavyweight. but you have what it takes. And you're expected to preside at club meetings and all regular and special meetings of the executive committee. It is your challenge, Toastmaster Essie, to see that the club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It is also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, the division, the district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. Please accept this gavel as a symbol of authority of your leadership and dedication to office. This gavel is a symbol of power and of authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and restrained. I think it was Toastmaster Chika Obani's bio that had a line that said, power comes with responsibility. Use it with restraint and wisely. You are a member of your team and you are the leader of the team. So you're playing a dual role, sensitive dual role. A team is more than a collection of people. It is an emotional force rooted in the feelings, the thoughts, and the actions of all members with a common goal. Achievement, sharing, mutual support are some of the things that would feature because of the team. Work with your team members to create a healthy team, a dynamic club, and a club that everyone will be proud of. Can you visualize that? 1 year from now. Will you, Toastmaster Essie Okirika, as president, accept this challenge and perform your duties to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I will.
Great, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, it is now my pleasure to declare these officers installed into the various offices to which they have been elected. A round of applause for them, please. And now to the club. Will everyone please stand? Growth and development of Toastmasters, specifically of Pecten Toastmasters Club, depends largely on the action of every one of us here. We have our offices, but every one of us here has a role to play. On your honor as members of Pecten Toastmasters Club, do you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club and live with it and work with it throughout the coming year?
We will.
We will. I'll repeat the last slide. On your honor as members of Pecten Toastmasters Club, do you pledge individually and collectively to stand by this club, to live with it and to work with it throughout the coming year?
We will.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Yes. So right now I'd like to ask the outgone, now outgone, the immediate past, to please join me here. Please join me here. All right, while I thank the rest of our officers, except the president, so please have your seats. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we have a symbolic moment right now, what I like to call the pin exchange. The pin exchange. Okay. So, immediate past president, Toastmaster, it takes a while to get used to it. Toastmaster Ditari Adebisi. Will you offer, okay, you've got one, all right, great. Will you please offer the president's pin to our incoming president, Toastmaster S.A. Okereka, as a symbol of her dedication and service? Great, thank you. Remember, I called it the pin exchange. Okay, so Toastmaster S.A. Okereka, will you please offer the pin to Toastmaster Ditari as a symbol of her dedication and service? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now this is symbolic, and what it symbolizes is continuity. Pecten Toastmasters Club, we're just a few years old, but you notice that it's been line upon line, precept upon precept. We've been building brick by brick. We're looking forward to the skyscraper that Pecten Toastmasters Club will become. When I looked at the crew, what I saw was an interesting medley of officers who hold Pecten to the next level, and the next, and the next. Congratulations, both of you. At this time, I'd like to ask the outgoing president, please take your seat. My task is almost over. Sorry. All right. At this point, our current president will address the House in a few seconds. She'll give us a brief speech and then share the goals she has for this particular tenure. Thank you very much. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, everyone. I feel like I voted into this position. So I am cautiously optimistic. I want to appreciate all the past IPTs. I can see so many in the room. Toastmaster Uche, Toastmaster Tari, Toastmaster Folusho, and Toastmaster Uche. Thank you so much for all your service. I know that you will always be mentors we can lean on. I'm very excited to be the president of Pecten Toastmasters Club. It's the role I know and plan to cherish, to do diligently, and I am very excited about the team of people I'll be working with. I have friends, have people who I hope will become friends, and a family in Pecten. As it pertains to our plans for the year, we are excited. We plan to meet our DCP goals with the help of those present, both virtually and in this physical venue. We would always ask that anytime we come for you for help, for support in any way you can, please do so, be it with publicity, be it with playing a role, be it with serving as mentors to new or interested Toastmasters and guests. I want to thank everyone who has participated in supporting Pecten thus far to this level. And I am excited to see how Pecten will vault up to the skies. Thank you.
Wow. Just put your hands together again for Refreshments. Put your hands together for Refreshments. Yes, right there. All right, wow, what a moment we witnessed. It was, I don't know how to describe it, electric. There were some times where it looked like my heart stopped. There was another time it looked like man fast. You know, I witnessed all the emotions. So roller coaster, right? Thank you. It was just everywhere. And thank you, our installation officer, for taking us through this journey, this short journey in a beautiful way. That's how I would describe it. Thank you so much. The installation ceremony reminded me of 20 years ago when I got married.
Wow. Nice.
During my wedding ceremony, I was to read out a couple of lines and had to say, I do. For those of you who don't know, I just got married. It's not 20 years ago. Then the emotions I felt in that day, let me see semblance of that, because it looked like they were giving you words that you have to stand by and things that you have to do, almost like a compliment. And Toastmaster Folusho did it in a really nice way to make sure that it pierces. She looks you in the eyes and tells you so that it pierces through your soul. You know that I've said I will do this, and if you don't do it, God will you. But did you notice that nobody said I will not? I've never gone to any installation I saw where they say, will you do this? I better say I will not. I'm looking forward to an installation ceremony where somebody say, today I don't agree. But congratulations to the new ESCOs. I'll then hand over to the general evaluator. Remember, I told you he's an emperor and conqueror. He's the main man for this meeting, aside the new ESCOs. He will be taking us through the evaluation session and give his own report. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Toastmaster Onorole.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Uche. It's been a wonderful meeting. Thank you so much, Pecten Toastmasters. I can always count on you for a lovely evening. It's the kind of meeting where you wonder if there is really anything to improve on, but I guess we'll find out. So stay tuned. Before we go ahead into the evaluations, I'd like to ask us to cast our votes for the table topic segment. So we have sheets of paper going round, and there will be a poll coming up for those online. Kindly vote for who you thought was the best table topic speaker. Since I'm the one calling for the votes and I participated in the table topics, I think I can campaign. So we have less than a minute to get that done.
He didn't save.
They click view results.
No, it's sorry, it's the old one. We updated. Yeah, just continue.
All right, so we'll get grammarian's reports in the meantime. Are you ready, Toastmaster? It's here.
Indeed, I am. And to vault from the German evaluator's rendition to my grammarian report, I will do that expeditiously. It's amazing usually when I come to Pecten Toastmasters meeting these days, and I look back from when we chartered and I was charter president, and then how it's actually, you can no longer find grammatical error. What you find are perhaps suboptimal use of grammar, period. And that's huge progress. We're vaulting. Having said that, there are some examples of extremely well put together sentence and syntax structure. Arise bigger, better, brighter, classic tripod, inspirational, vaulting. TM Folusho. Thanks for that line. We've got things like until lambs become lions, rise and rise again. I will take that to bed tonight. Hopefully, yes. I'll transform from half of a lamb, half of a lion. In the day. Big shots are only small shots that kept shooting. My word. My word. Yeah, I never stopped shooting. But these are things we take away.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps there might be one or two better ways to use certain sentences or phrases. One of the ones I talked about was because of one reason. So I think that very often when you use because and reason, you like say for one reason or the other. And if you're going to use because, then you go more specific to whatever it is. So it's not wrong, it's just maybe suboptimal. And at the time that someone did say something about small shots that keeps shooting, I think he meant keep shooting, because you've got that singular verb tense when using that context. But there are many great things to still take away from all of that. Simplicity being the ultimate sophistication. Folusho never lets us go without that. That's just excellent and special. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. We keep vaulting and opting for growth. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for that exceptional report, Toastmaster Antia. We can always count on you for that. We'll now be moving on to the accountants report. And today we had Uncle C, Toastmaster Chika, play the role of accountant. So can you let us know how we did with our pause fillers, Uncle C?
All right. Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Dear General Evaluator, just as Toastmaster the grammarian had alluded to, we seem to see optimal use of language and grammar, and that has also translated to uses of crutch words or filler words. So even though we have a very popular filler word from today's meeting, which happens to be M only appeared 5 times between 2 persons. And the king of today's accounting happens to be none other than Toastmaster Edem in Sikak with 3 M's. So please let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. I'm back to you.
Congrats.
You're muted, Toastmaster.
He's done. He's done. He said thank you.
He's done. He's done.
He's also listening.
All right, that was very quick. Like someone said. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Chika. Yeah, you voted in. Thank you. We'll take the timer's report now, and that will be from our newly crowned king, Toastmaster Edem.
Brenda.
There we go.
Stand up and come out for you.
He has to show that he's a paid coward. Thank you. For our time, I think everybody spoke with the stipulated time for the table topics, which is 2 minutes. TM Tosin spoke for 1 minute 41 seconds. TM Daramola spoke for 2 minutes 5 seconds. TM Linus spoke for 1 minute 15 seconds. TM Tonye spoke for 1 minute 56. TM Ekuchi James spoke for 1 minute 35 seconds. For the farewell speech by TM Tari took 4 minutes 8 seconds. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Edem. And now we'll have the poll come up for the table topics speakers. And while that poll is going on, we'll have our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Essay, come evaluate our table topic speakers.
Just to confirm, those online, can you see the polls? Those online.
Yes, please. We have voted already. We have voted. Move on, please.
So we had Toastmaster Tosin, Toastmaster Daramola. For those in the audience, Toastmaster Tosin was first, Toastmaster Daramola, Toastmaster Linus, distinguished Toastmaster Sonye, and finally Toastmaster Joy. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'd first like to commend our table topics master, distinguished Toastmaster Jules. Thank you for the beautiful topics. I love the fact that they all were suited around the theme of today, which was growth mindset. And I love that while sharing each quote, you gave the reference of who said it. My only suggestion again would be to add more. So if I want to remember the quote, one thing. So for example, renowned author Maya Angelou says, people remember how you make them feel. What do you think about it? I think that's one way of making people remember not just the quotes, but also the author of the quotes. Among our speakers today, first we had Toastmaster saying perseverance is a virtue. And I love that you used real-time example. You talked about something that happened within our struggles with the technical glitches. I love that you told that personal story. Storytelling is one beautiful way of getting people to connect when giving a table topic. I also liked the fact that you repeated the quotes at the end, and you gave all of us a call to charge to persevere. My only feedback would be as it pertains to your hand gesture. For most of the meeting, while speaking, your hands were like this and clasped, and it took away from your table topic. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Damramola. Sorry, I'm pronouncing the way I wrote it. Toastmaster for me. When I fall 7 times, I rise 8 times. I love the fact that you referenced something in your culture with the adage, and you gave us literal translation. A child looks to the front when they fall, and adult looks behind. I also love when you talked about your vocal variety, like I rise stronger, bigger, sharper, more beautiful. And I like that you also gave us a call to charge to learn to see life through the lens of growth and opportunities. My recommendation would have liked to see your beautiful face. In addition, I would have loved to hear how you're vaulting in your life. So using the word of the day would have been a good twist. And I would have liked to hear you, before giving us the literal English translation of the adage, say it in your language. That is one way that we would also connect with it. I also like how you told all of us to go along with the growth mindset, a fun way to add the thing into the conversation. Thank you for telling us to stay bigger, better, and brighter. Our third table topic speaker was Toastmaster Linus. Big shots are only little shots. Who kept shooting? I love that you started with a hilarious twist by using a word from the quote you got and said, oh, I'll try to keep this as short as I can. I thought that was funny. I also love that you used the wrong word, the word of the day, albeit in a wrong context when you said, oh, the ball in your head. But you still use the word of the day. So we can go back to you. I like how you rephrased the idea around big shots, talking about the leads of the water. And I love that you've given us a quote we would all stay with about until lambs become lions, rise and rise again. My only feedback would be, I like that you told us you were borrowing it. It was a quote that stayed with you across 15 years from a movie. But I want to watch that movie. So I think telling us the name of the movie is one way for us to actually be sure that you're citing your source correctly. Thank you for participating in our table topics. Our fourth speaker was distinguished Toastmaster Sonye. Keep trying until you have no more chances. I loved that you volunteered. I love that you made us ponder. You slowly asked, when do we know when the chances are exhausted? I loved how you modulated your tone while asking us that question. And you cited examples with the changes in modern inventions like mobile phones and about the time when people surprisingly thought there would never be a day we had phone in our hands. And then you told us about the light bulb and how many times tried. I would have liked to know the name of the inventor. Just mentioning Thomas Edison, for those who might not know him, it would help them when they are giving their research about it. But I like that you also asked us, what is it you have? Is there an obstacle to your dream? Is there something on your bucket list? Thank you for forcing us to pause and think and making us want to try again. I love your tone, especially when you say, can you just keep on trying? I could see some members actually nodding like, yes, I can keep on trying because you're encouraging us. Thank you for telling us to look at the opportunities to try again, and because there's always a new thing. Our final speaker was Toastmaster Joy. Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. I love the creative twist thank you for coming to sing for us. Problem, they finish, make you try it and enjoy. That was the perfect opportunity to show your vocal variety. I loved how you watched your hands when you said cup half full, cup half empty. You used the word of the day. I like that you told us that this was your favorite quote, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Or you didn't tell us who it was from or how it relates. You just told us that it's a quote you share with Toastmaster Tosin, who was in the movie. In as much as I love your hand gestures, one body language I really love was when you say, but it's all up in there. You touched your head, and I thought that was a very beautiful way of using your body to tell a story. Thank you for leaving us with a question to ponder that creatively used what you got as your table topic when you told us, when you see problems, are they stop signs or guidelines? Thank you. I loved all our table topic speakers.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ese. If there's anything you can count on Toastmaster Ese for, it's a detailed evaluation as well as an outgoing. So thank you once again. Now on to my general evaluation. I'd like to start by thanking our Toastmaster of the day. Can we put our hands together? I think the Toastmaster of the day role is a very vital one because most of the time it sets a tone for the meeting. Toastmaster Uche set off with a lot of energy, and I think it was contagious. From the onset, he was smiling. You could tell he was excited to be playing that role. You could tell he was excited to be here. And I think that had its way of seeping into every single one of us here today. It had its way of seeping into our meeting. So Toastmaster Uche, I want to thank you for spearheading a very enjoyable meeting. Thank you. Also, like had been referenced previously, our meeting was laden with a couple of beautiful quotes. Like every time I heard a really wonderful quote that I thought could not be topped, someone would be like, okay, wait for my bio, and then the bio would pop off, and you'd see another interesting quote. I don't say a better quote, but another interesting quote. So I really love that because we're here to learn, we're here to be inspired. And so it's beautiful that even outside of the speeches, outside of the feedback, outside of the role playing, these little things can also inspire us. So thank you to everyone who contributed to the meeting in that manner. As regards some areas of improvement, when I arrived, I met 2 guests at the lobby, and I know they had to wait a couple of minutes before they could come in. I just want to urge us as much as possible to make it a very seamless experience for our guests, because today we had some very understanding guests. Unfortunately, there are times you might have people who don't want to wait even a second, and that would be the single turn off, the reason they would not come back. So I think that's something we could plan around. I also have an additional recommendation, which I tagged, don't take the norms for granted. So there are things we do over and over again that you just assume, is going to sort itself out or it's going to be fine. Oh, I do this every day, it's not going to be a problem. Today we saw some of these things manifest in the form of technical issues. We also saw it in the form of some role players stumbling over their roles or the introduction of their roles a little bit. So as much as possible, let's just go over everything we need to go over. It doesn't hurt. At the very least, you will be coming off like an oversabi, but it's better to come off as an oversabi than to have a meeting that is not perfect, even though it could almost have been. So thank you. Additional commendations. I loved that despite the technical issues we had a beautiful program. I thought the agenda was very well and thoughtfully planned out. I think it also contributed to how much we enjoyed the meeting. I think the agenda also suited the occasion, which is the handover we had today. It's been very enjoyable. It's been fun. I almost feel like, well, maybe it's not going to hurt if every Toastmasters meeting can be like this, but I know it can't. So thank you to everyone who planned and participated in executing today's meeting. And finally, I loved that there was a great sense of camaraderie. I mentioned earlier that we had technical issues, and for those online, you might not know, but we are still experiencing one of those technical issues right now, but you have no idea because people have volunteered over the course of the meeting to be cameramen and ladies. So to every single person who served in one way or the other, even without expecting to do so tonight, I want to say thank you. You're part of the reason the meeting has been successful. Thank you for your contributions. And on a lighter note, I noticed that our immediate past president was a little bit too excited when she handed over. And I just want to remind you, responsibilities don't finish. So despite thinking you're gone as the president, there'll be more responsibilities to find you. So embrace them when they come. Thank you very much, Pecten Toastmasters Squad. It's been wonderful. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. While we are waiting the results from the table topic session, I would like to sign out. Okay. In the Pecten Toastmasters Constitution, there is no place that is written that the results must be transmitted to me electronically. I have it here in my hands, and I will tell you the winner for today. And I can tell you for free, I enjoyed the table topic session. I think it was one of the most inspiring I've ever attended. Thankfully, we have a YouTube channel, so I urge you to go back I'm not promising something that's not going to work.
No,
It's going to
it's
happen, right? You can go back, binge watch, and I'm sure you will enjoy it over and over again. However, we can only have one winner by hook or crook. Our winner for today is none other than Toastmaster Joy.
It was a very cool sport. You won by just
One different
like
kind line.
half foot or something like that.
Go to God.
Love the fact that we had a physical meeting today. It's been a long time we had this, and it was so exciting to see people once again. We had time to shake our hands and do all of these kind of things. I love it. We had this meeting had a lot of movers and shakers. If you check online, you will see PQD, you will see IPPs in the room here, TTMs, chapter presidents. You know, it's not easy for you to have all these people in the room on the day on every day president. Can we have an installation every other to get all these people together? I'd like to thank everyone who made this meeting a success. I look forward to the exciting things that our new government will help us achieve as Pecten Toastmasters Club. At this point, I would like to hand over to the president, or the new president. Can you imagine? I was looking at the president, the new president, for her to give us her closing remarks and take us to the end of this meeting. Toastmaster SP.
Good evening, everyone. Please, can we once again put our hands together for all our guests, Toastmasters, both those virtually and on the call. It's now time for our guests to welcome. We'd just like you to say your name, how you heard about the club, and one thing, maybe one word to describe your experience. I'd like us to first start with our virtual audience. Is there anyone on the call who is a guest? Just scroll through. Abisola, good evening. Are you a guest? I can see I and Irielua. You can just unmute, or if it's not convenient where you are, you can also use the chat box to just introduce yourself and what your experience has been thus far attending our meeting today. Just going through. Hi, Abisola. Okay.
Oh, that's a Latin drink.
Okay.
Irielua, hi, good evening. Okay. Can you hear us, please?
Yes, I can hear. My name is
Okay,
Ayoma.
it's a bit. Okay. So, how's your experience been, and how did you hear about our club? Are you a Toastmaster?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I've been around with the club for a while, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for attending. How was your experience?
Right, I enjoyed the table topics and yeah, the discussions. Basically, did enjoy.
Okay. Thank you. Please, you can also drop your contact details privately to our video. Okay, we have it. Okay. Thank you so much for attending our meeting today. I don't know if Abisola, if it's convenient for you to speak now, would you like to try again? You can see your pretty face. Hi, Abisola.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Maybe try without the headset.
Yeah, so just try without the headset because we can't hear you. No, we can't. We
Read your lips.
We can see your lips that is moving. Okay. Well, yeah, you can just type in the chat box. We are happy to see you and thank you for coming to okay. I don't know if we have any other guests. Thank you, Abisola, for coming. I don't know if iPhone, I don't know what iPhone is, but I'm asking. Okay, it's from on you. And then for those in our physical audience, do we have any guests?
Yes.
I can already see some guests. So I'd like them to just raise their hands so we can welcome you. Like to. Okay, amazing. So we can start with you.
Hello everyone. My name is Sam. And I'm just
an observer for this, even though I didn't get to listen to the sessions. I enjoyed the research. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next guest, the handsome man in Congo.
My name is Sophie Jamaica.
Hey, hi, welcome. Oh, nice. Okay, so she invited.
Here.
Thanks for coming. What's your experience?
Yeah, but I was really impressed with everything that happened to me.
Hey, thank you so much.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Sonia Alana, Emerald Toastmasters Club, Abuja. I came into town. Of course, the first thing I always do when coming into a place is where is the nearest Toastmasters Club? When are they meeting? I was privileged to speak with Toastmaster Truth DTM. Told me he was away at the moment, but he arranged all this, and here I am. I enjoyed it immensely, especially the way you manage your hybrid meeting. I think that's really fantastic. Especially the same topic, getting one from the audience, one online. I thought that was really brilliant. And I must say, Madam President, the evaluations are on point.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all our guests. I think we do. Abisola, can you hear us now?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
From work.
It's our guest. Yes, please introduce yourself. Hi.
My name is Brenda Nokam. The first time I heard of Toastmasters, it was in a conversation between Tari and AC. But I didn't pay particular attention. But yesterday, I went to Tari because she previously had told me something. She probably can't remember. She probably thought it was a joke. She said, "Come, let's arrange your life." So I'm like, okay. So I went to her and like, can I attend your meetings? And she was like, there's a meeting tomorrow. Here I am.
Wow. Well, yeah, absolutely certain that the way you're going to vault into a different life just by being a member of the Toastmasters community, you would be amazed. So thank you for attending, and we hope you become a member of Pecten Toastmasters Club. So thank you to all our guests. There are no official announcements. Details about our next meeting will be shared by our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Joy. And before we round up, we like to do our tongue twister. Oh, okay. Let's keep moving, that's fine. So I would like to thank everyone who has participated in today's meeting. Thank you to all our IPPs.
Yeah.
I feel like that's IPPs. Okay. Yes, to all our PPs. Thank you to all our PPs. Thank you to our newest or latest IPP. Thank you to our VPPR, our main camera lady, Toastmaster Mina, Toastmaster Linus, Toastmaster Tembe, Toastmaster Edem, our quiet timer that's smiling all through. Thank you for, and you're also part of the logistics, so I'd like to thank you. Everyone on the call from Dizin, DTM, Toastmaster Fumi, you are participating in both the chat box and while speaking, Toastmaster Kaine, everyone who has attended today's meeting, thank you so much for being a part of the Pecten family change of guard ceremony. You can always watch reruns of our past meetings and this one on Toastmasters page on YouTube. If you have any questions, please meet any of the beautiful faces you can see in the room or online. They will give you all the information you require. Thank you so much. And this meeting is officially adjourned. I'd like someone to second my adjournment, Madam.
No, there's something that they're missing in this meeting. I saw something.
Please, Madam, I first officially.
Something like that.
Madam, please.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you so much. Our meeting is officially over. Thank you to those online. Yes, tongue twister. Let me pop it up now. Let's see.
You cut all this.
No. Just for. So who wants to do our tongue twister? You just need to read it out 5 times. Okay, not like meetings are who wants someone should just read it out 5 times. It's a good fun way. It was introduced by one of our PPs. Okay, I think this is a good way. The person that introduced this to our Toastmaster agenda was one of our PPs, Toastmaster Folusho. So please could you do us the honors of 5 times reading our tongue twister?
The last one.
Okay. 33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat. 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 33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat.
Thank you. Who likes to try this? Okay, our IPP.
33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat. 33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat. 33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat. 33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat.
Wow, please stand together. And lastly, our charter president, please, our tongue twister.
Feathers on the thrush's throat. 8,000 feathers on the thrush's throat. 30,000 feathers on the thrush's throat. 8,000 feathers on the thrush's throat. 33,000 feathers on the thrush's throat. 8,000 feathers on the thrush's throat. 8,000 feathers on the thrush's throat. Let's go back to
Thank you all so much. And our meeting is thank you.
Like this. I like it. Yeah, that was why I joined.